The Senate will come to order. Mr. Carpenter, please call the roll.
Senators Bridges, Cook, Corum, Court, Crowder, Danielson, Donovan, Finberg, Fields, Foote, Gardner, Janal, Gonzalez, Hill, Heisey, Holbert, Lee, Lundeen, Marble, Moreno, Pedersen, Priola, Rankin, Rodriguez, Scott, Smallwood, Sonnenberg, Story, Tate.
Excused.
Todd, Williams,
Excused.
Winter, Woodward, Zinzinger, Mr. President.
Here. With 33 present, 0 absent, and 2 excused, we have a quorum. Senator Rodriguez, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Mr. President. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the Journal. Senator Story.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the meeting of the Journal of Friday, February 8th, 2019 be dispensed with and the Journal be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Senate Services.
Correctly printed, Senate Bill 135, correctly engrossed, Senate Bill 19-105, correctly revised, House Bill 1011.
Third reading of bills, consent calendar. Mr. Carpenter, please read the titles to all the bills listed on the consent calendar.
Senate Bill 19 by Senator Fields and Representative Gregg concerning the power of a county to restrict the use of fireworks during the period between May 31st and July 1st of any year. Senate Bill 105 by Senator Rodriguez and Representative Tipper concerning the Colorado Uniform Directed Trust Act.
Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the passage of all the bills on the third reading of bills consent calendar, which includes Senate Bill 19, Senate Bill 105, and House Bill 1011. Or sorry, just Senate Bill 19, Senate Bill 105.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of all the bills on the third reading consent calendar. Are there any no votes? Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask to be recorded as a no on Senate Bill 19.
Senator Sonnenberg will be requested as a no vote as requested. Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also request to be a no on Senate Bill 19.
Senator Hill will be requested no vote as requested on Senate Bill 19. Senator Marble.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also request to be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 19.
Senator Marble will be requested as a no vote on Senate Bill 19. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request to be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 19.
The Minority Leader will be listed as a no vote on Senate Bill 19. Senator Cook.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request to be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 19.
Senator Cook will be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 19. Senator Lundeen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request to be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 19.
Senator Lundeen will be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 19. Senator Smallwood.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request to be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 19.
Senator Smallwood will be noted as a no vote on Senate Bill 19. Senator Heisey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request to be noted as a no vote on Senate Bill 19.
Senator Heisey will be listed as a no vote on Senate Bill 19. Senator Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. President. I respectfully request to be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 19, but I'm grateful that no one needed to speak about it.
Senator Gardner will be listed as a no vote on Senate Bill 19. Are there any other no votes on Senate Bill 19 or any other bills on the consent calendar? Third reading, final passage. With a vote of 24 ayes, 9 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, Senate Bill 19 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senator Todd, Senators Gonzalez, Court, Story. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, Senate Bill 105 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senator Gardner, Senator Crowder, third reading of bill's final passage. Mr. Carpenter, please read the bill, House Bill 1011.
House Bill 1011 by Representative Hooten and Senator Tate concerning clarification of the scope of existing sales tax exemption for manufactured homes.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill or House Bill 1011 layover until tomorrow, Tuesday, February 12th, 2019.
You have heard the motion. The motion is to lay over House Bill 1011 one calendar day. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. House Bill 1011 will lay over one day under the rules. General order, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion is adopted and the Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar, and Senator Gonzalez will take the chair.
Consent. I got you. Yeah, I'll take care of it, Bob. Are you guys new?
The committee will come to order and the court roll is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title of all of the bills on the general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar?
Senate Bill 100 by Senator Gardner concerning the creation of the Uniform Civil Remedies for Unauthorized Disclosure of Intimate Images Act. Senate Bill 71 by Senator Fields and Representative Roberts concerning expanding the admission of out-of-court statements of a child.
Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for the adoption of all the bills on the consent calendar and their associated committee reports, including Senate Bill 100 and the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee report, as well as Senate Bill 71 and the Judiciary Committee report.
Is there any discussion on any of the committee reports on the consent calendar? The motion before the body is the adoption of all of the committee reports on the general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it and the committee reports are adopted. Is there any discussion on any of the bills on the consent calendar? The motion before the body is the adoption of all the bills on the general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it and all of the bills are adopted. Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the committee is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it and the motion is adopted. The committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
Mr. President, your committee will place the reports out in consideration of the following text bills being secondly read. Makes the following recommendation on Senate Bill 100 as amended. Senate Bill 71 is amended, passing read order and gross place the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the report.
The motion is for the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 100 as amended, Senate Bill 071 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. General order, second reading of bills. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The motion is adopted, and the Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills, and Senator Gonzalez will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 92?
Senate Bill 92 by Senators Zenzinger, Cook, and Representatives Tipper and Liston concerning prohibition of using illuminated check engine light as the sole criterion for failure of an emissions test.
Senator Cook.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We move Senate Bill 92 and ask for a favorable, ask for an aye vote.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you. Members, this bill says that you can use the check engine light as a valuable guide that it was intended to be, but it cannot be the sole reason for failing an emissions test. We believe that there are many reasons that a check engine light could come on, 99% of the time related to emissions, but not always, and so therefore we would ask for an aye vote.
There is an amendment on the desk. Will the clerk please read Amendment L001?
Amendment L001, Senate Bill 92 by Senator Priola, amend printable page 2, strike lines 2 through 18 and substitute
Senator Priola.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Members, L001 is simply an amendment to take this idea and make it a study to make sure we are not putting into statute a major loophole that would put the current program in jeopardy from the EPA. I ask for an aye vote.
Senator Priola, will you please move your amendment?
Sorry, Madam Chair, I move L001.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I would ask for a no vote. This is a strike below amendment, and it is not necessary. Thank you.
Any further discussion regarding Amendment L001? The motion is the adoption of Amendment L001. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The noes have it, and the amendment is lost. There's a second amendment on the desk. Would the clerk please read Amendment L002?
Amendment L002, Senate Bill 92 by Senator Priola, amend printable page 2, line 15, strike dashboard and substitute dashboard if issuing rules complies with
Senator Priola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L002.
Is there any discussion? Senator Priola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this would look to the EPA to make sure this program, this bill, doesn't mess up the current system and the SIP in our state and put us out of compliance. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Further discussion? Senator Zenzinger.
Members, I would ask for a no vote. First of all, we are already out of compliance with our EPA regulations, which is why we have a SIP, so this will not put us out of more compliance, so I would ask for a no.
Any further discussion on Amendment L002? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of Amendment L002. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The noes have it, and the amendment is lost. Senator Cook.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just ask again for a yes vote or an aye vote on Senate Bill 92.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of Senate Bill 92. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 13?
Senate Bill 13 by Senators Marble and John, Representatives Hooten and Ransom concerning the conditions for medical marijuana use for disabling medical conditions in connection therewith, adding a condition for which a physician can prescribe an opiate to the list of disabling medical conditions for medical marijuana use.
Senator Marble.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We move Senate Bill 13 and the Health and Human Services Committee Report 001.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of the committee report and the bill itself. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, just the report.
Senator Marble, would you please tell us about the committee report?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would happily tell you about committee report from Health and Human Services 001. It does great attention for the records following the patient to the mental health or the mental health provider to the medical marijuana doctor, and then also the approved form of medical marijuana for children during school hours, bus rides, or school events.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of the committee report from the Health and Human Services Committee. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the report is adopted. To the bill, Senator Janal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this bill provides an alternative to opioids. And Senate Bill 13 allows patients a choice to opt in for medical marijuana, which has 0 deaths related to overdose over opioids. And I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 13. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 14?
Senate Bill 14 by Senator Corman, Representative Carver, concerning measures to reduce instances of theft from retail establishments.
Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 14 lay over until Wednesday, February 13th, 2019.
The motion before the body is to lay over Senate Bill 14 until Wednesday, February the 13th, 2019. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill is laid over. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 49?
Senate Bill 49 by Senator Fields and Representative Michelson Janet, concerning increasing the statute of limitations for certain failure to report child sexual abuse crimes.
Senator Fields.
Madam Chair, I move Senate Bill 49 in the committee report.
To the Judiciary Committee report, Senator Fields.
The committee report strikes the limitation from 5 years down to 3. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report from the Judiciary Committee to Senate Bill 49? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of the Judiciary Committee report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the report is adopted. To the bill, Senator Fields.
Madam Chair, I renew my motion for the adoption of Senate Bill 49 on second reading.
Is there any discussion on the bill itself, on Senate Bill 49? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 49. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1029?
House Bill 1029 by Representative Martin, Senator Crowder, concerning the Republican River Water Conservation District in connection therewith expanding the boundaries of the district and adjusting the meeting schedule of the district's board of directors.
Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1029.
To the bill. To the bill, Senator Crowder.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. This is a simple but important bill. Basically, what this bill does, it expands the boundaries of the Republican River Water Conservation District to include areas of Cheyenne County where groundwater pumping depletes the flow of Republican River. This is a compact situation, and what we're trying to do here is expand these boundaries south to well users, and this will actually increase the boundaries by about 42,000 acres. I think it's an important bill to help protect the people outside of the boundaries that are going into the boundary from the state water engineer from shutting wells down. So it's not a very complicated bill. Actually, it also changes the members of the commission from by adding two. So it's an important bill, but it's something for that protection for rural Colorado that we need. Anytime you're outside of a boundary of a conservation district, it does put you in a peril of shutting wells down. So I would just ask for your support and I vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll talk a little bit about this as it basically is in Senate District 1. The Republican River District was created a number of years ago for compact compliance, and it was designed and put together based on the data they had at the time. Since that time, as part of the model for the Republican River, there are areas outside of that boundary which actually need some sort of augmentation plan. I will tell you that there are some people out of that boundary right now paying an augmentation plan in the South Platte. This would actually double dip, because there's nothing in the statute that says that this district has to agree with that augmentation plan, although they have said that they have a commitment to do so. My argument here has always been, is this government's role to try and ram this down someone else's throat, to bring them into an area to be taxed for their augmentation, to provide them protection for replacement water. The state engineer is currently going through rulemaking and will have rules put in place in which the state engineer testified in committee that once the rules are in place, if you don't have a replacement plan, and if you're outside of this Republican River, you don't have a replacement plan, that your wells will be curtailed. So the incentive then is for them to join this plan on their own rather than through a bill. That's why I don't support it. The other item is they're changing the language in here with the appointment to the Republican River, and I don't see an amendment to change that, although it was talked about. A county commissioner, typically, each jurisdiction county gets an appointment to this district. For example, Logan County, and I served as Logan County's representative when this was first formed to deal with those compact issues. The change in there says that if Logan County wants to appoint someone from Kit Carson County or Lincoln County, they can do so, which I don't think makes sense. I think that county needs to be a little more diligent in finding their replacement for the Republican River Conservation District. I want those wells, let me be clear, I want those wells to be covered with an augmentation plan, with some sort of replacement plan. They will have to be after the rules of the state engineer, as is every other well in the state. But I think that now forcing them to join the district in which they will be incentivized to do so is a bad avenue. That's why I'm going to be a no vote.
Thank you, Senator. Any further discussion? Senator Crowder.
You know, I thank you, Madam Chair. I know that this is kind of a tough issue, but the reality is, anytime, as a farmer myself, anytime you're outside the protection of a conservation district, it puts you in peril. So I understand that there are some concerns about this bill, but I also understand the power of the state and the situation we have with our water as far as meeting compacts. So I think this is by far the better way for water users to go. I do believe that since they would be inside the conservation district, there could be conversations on their augmentation. There could be conversations on the amount they pay. There could be a lot of conversation, but in unity is power. So those who claim to support agricultural, I think will have no problem at all supporting this bill. Thank you.
Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, we had a great conversation in committee on this, and you know, I realize there are problems because the Republican River that compact has cost the state of Colorado a great deal of money, and I think it's imperative that we do something. But I do tend to agree with the senator from Sterling that one, a county commissioner should appoint someone from their county, and I think that's just absolutely, if you can't convince me that there's not someone in that county that you can't support. Also, I do believe that if you are in an augmentation plan already, that you should not have to pay this field. And I would like to have a senatorial 5.
Members, while I understand that we are on seconds, I literally can't hear. So can you please lower your voices and be respectful to the speakers in the well. Is there any further discussion? Senatorial 5. is an amendment on the desk. Will the clerk please read Amendment L003?
Amendment L003, House Bill 1029 by Senator Corman, amending Gross Bill page 4 after line 13, insert B.5. Notwithstanding any other provisions of the section, to the contrary, a person may not be appointed.
Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I would move L003. What this amendment does, it on page 4, line 13, insert, notwithstanding any provision of the section to the contrary, a person may not be appointed to the board to represent a county unless the person resides in that county. I think that gives you more local control over the district. So I'd ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do consider this a friendly amendment, and I would actually also support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion on Amendment L003? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of Amendment L003. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. We have a second amendment on the desk. Will the clerk please read Amendment L005?
Amendment L005 and House Bill 1029.
Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I probably should have ran this one first. We had such good luck on the first one, but what this does, it states in Colorado Statute 3750-1385 as follows. Prohibition of duplication of fees. Notwithstanding any provision of this Article 50 to the contrary, an entity that pays augmentation fees to a water conservation district other than the district for the purpose of the preventing curtailment for which has an augmentation plan in place may not be required to pay augmentation fees to the district.
So, Senator, will you move your amendment, please?
I was doing so well up until that point. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L005 for the reasons that I stated.
Thank you so much. Is there any discussion to Amendment L005? Senator Crowder.
Madam Chair, after looking at this amendment, I too believe this is a friendly amendment, and I will be supporting this amendment also. I think it does give a little bit more flexibility without creating problems within the district. So I think that I'm going to support it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any further discussion on Amendment L005? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of Amendment L005. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. To the bill, Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just ask for support for this bill. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had some great discussion on the floor and some good debate. I think we had some good debate here. I was considering running one more amendment that we change the name of the river from the Republican River to the Democrat River because there seemed to be a little bit of objection to it.
Thank you. Any further discussion on on House Bill 1029? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of House Bill 1029. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the committee is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come back to order. Mr. Carpenter, please add Senator Williams and Senator Tate to the roll call. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
Mr. President, your committee will exit reports that consideration of the following tax bills being second read over. The following recommendations are on Senate Bill 92, Senate Bill 13 as amended, Bill 49 as amended, passed second read order and gross place on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1029 as amended, passed on second reading in order revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 14 later until 2/13/19 retaining its place on the calendar.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption of the report.
The motion is for the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 0 excused, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 092, Senate Bill 013 as amended, Senate Bill 049 as amended, passed on second reading in order engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1029 as amended, passed on second reading in order revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 014 laid over until 2/13/2019, retaining its place on the calendar. Considerations of resolutions. Mr. Carpenter, please read the title to Senate Joint Resolution. Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move SJR 005 lay over to Tuesday, February 12th.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. SJR 005 will lay over one day under the rules. Message from the House.
The House is passed on third reading and transmitted to Rise Statutes. House Bill 1105. The House is passed on third reading and transmitted to Rise Statutes. House Bill 1098, 1084. Amended as printed in the House Journal, February 8, 2019. The House is passed on third reading and returns herewith. Senate Bill 21. The House is passed on third reading and transmitted to Rise Statutes. Senate Bill 18 is amended as printed in the House Journal, February 8, 2019.
Introduction of bills.
House Bill 1028 by Representatives Hooten and Ransom and Senators Corman Fenberg concerning the conditions for medical marijuana use for disabling medical conditions in connection therewith adding autism spectrum disorders to the list of disabling medical conditions for medical marijuana use.
Health and Human Services. Announcements. Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, today you have an opportunity to visit with Water Education Colorado. They will be in the basement near the House committee rooms. And just a chance, they always have great information on water, booklets you can pick up and learn more. So if that is something that you would like to hone up on a little bit, it's a great opportunity today. Thank you.
Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Downstairs right now on the first floor in the West Foyer is the Legalizing Minors Businesses Expo. So we have kidpreneurs downstairs showing off their entrepreneurial skills with kind of like a little mini trade show. So I invite you all, invite members to come down and join us down the first foyer and welcome children and their families learning what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Thank you. Right now, first floor foyer. Hey, I'm back where I'm from. We pronounce things odd.
Are you saying
Senator Rodriguez.
minors aren't legal?
Senator Rodriguez is recognized first.
Thank you, Mr. President. Little announcement. Just wanted to let everybody know that today at 2 o'clock on the West Steps that there will be a rally for DCTA for the strike that's going on in Denver. If any of you want to come out and show your support, we would welcome to have you.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today is the first day of the strike that teachers in Denver Public Schools are engaging in for the first time in 25 years. And in solidarity with those teachers, we do invite all members of the Colorado General Assembly to come and stand in solidarity and listen to the directly impacted teachers and hear from them as to why they're striking. There will be negotiations resuming tomorrow evening between DCTA and DPS, but we do invite you to attend today's rally on the West Steps. Thank you.
Senator Foote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just wanted to announce on State Affairs this afternoon at 1:30. It's what we're doing is on the calendar, but just to announce it as well, we will first start with a sunset review for the licensing and regulation of psychiatric technicians. Then Senate Bill 110 by Senator Crowder, Senate Bill 78 by Senators Donovan and Bridges, 1:30 in room 357.
Senator Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The State Restorative Justice Council will be putting on a presentation today at noon in the Senate Committee Room, I think 352. Lunch will be served, so your aides or yourselves can come and lunch and learn about restorative justice, a better way to solve disputes and crimes and reduce incarceration. So come join us.
Seeing no further announcements, Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, Veterans Caucus at 11:30 on HCR 0112, 11:30 to 1. So if you like something to do, I think you could come and listen to the veterans. Thank you.
Seeing no further announcements, Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate recess until 2 p.m. today.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the Senate will stand in recess.